Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Inside the Force. Dave Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back. It is episode 250.
250. We've done this many times.
I didn't want to make a big deal about it.
That's big.
Because
that's a big number.
It's a pretty big number. You know, I guess it's an anniversary number, right?
Yes.
I mean, 250?
I'm sure there's some name for it, but I can't think of what it is. But.
Yeah, double centennial 50.
Whatever.
Yeah. Because, I remember we made a big deal at 100 and 200.
Yeah.
But and 300 will be a big.
Because
I was thinking, that's still like a year away, right? 50 episodes,
almost
right?
a year.
Almost a year if we consistently do.
Yeah. Ugh,
that means no breaks. Man, we could do our 300s if we did a little bit more by time episode 9, like episode 9's review or something like that.
Yeah,
like could be number 300.
We have to double up a little bit.
Yeah. I'll do some little side episodes.
We'll fudge it.
Yeah.
That'll be fine.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for coming with us. We, it's inevitable. I don't think we're getting anything big until Celebration.
Right. No. It's all been Celebration news, really. Panels and guests.
That's right. So, we're, I was going to bring it up. 45 days away or something like that? 41 days away from Star Wars Celebration. I hope everybody has gotten their tickets. If not, tomorrow, which is March 1st, we're recording on February 28th, badges start shipping.
Yeah.
So you will, if you've pre-ordered your badge, you will be getting those. If you haven't, start looking on eBay or something because people will be probably sending those, putting some extra tickets up there.
Yeah. Because
they are sold out. I believe if you go on there, I think Monday is probably still available. I think last I heard Monday was still available, but just know that if you go on there now and buy them, you cannot get them in the mail. You'll have to get a will call and get those. But I think without revealing too much, Casey's got a little Star Wars Celebration news.
It's so funny. It's like I feel cool that I can't say things about Celebration.
Yeah,
you know things that you don't know.
That's right.
But things are looking pretty good with our show. I think in our time slot.
Yes. So we know our time slot.
We do know it. We're very happy. I think with what we're given. I mean, we don't know any other panels really besides what you all do publicly know.
Right.
But we'll be able to share it with you hopefully shortly.
Hopefully.
We got an email with the time slots and all that stuff. So things are heating up over there.
Things are heating up.
Podcast day, it's going to be our day is going to be a fun day.
Yes. I guess the short of it is I'm happy with it. I think Casey's happy with it.
Yeah.
Again, it could. When we went last time, and we had mentioned it, I think here there was a Mark Hamill panel.
Yeah, it was like
we had to miss.
There was like some tribute to Carrie Fisher in that panel as well that we missed.
Yeah,
but,
So we're bound to miss something probably.
Yeah, that's true. It's Saturday, so it'll be a big day for sure in the morning, but who knows in the afternoon or evening.
Yes. So we'll see. I can't say anything.
When's the Fallen Order panel? That was announced.
It was announced. I think it's on Sunday.
13th?
Yeah, I think it's on Sunday.
Is that Sunday? Because I feel like if we're gonna miss anything, it might be something that will be equally cool. Like, what if it's maybe it's a Disney Plus panel, or maybe it's one of the shows on Disney Plus, or maybe it would be the.
Oh, I apologize. It is Saturday.
Saturday. So we'll see.
We'll see. Great news for gamers. So we'll get in it. So we're going to get into a bigger topic here with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, but it has been revealed that their panel is Saturday, but there's no time yet.
Right.
Just like everything else, there's really no times released yet. I guess this is standard. For some reason, I felt like we knew for a while before we left.
I thought
the order
I thought they did it in a big wave, just a big push. Like here's the schedules, here's the time slots.
I really think they're possibly trying to secure more people.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
because they're still rolling out guests.
Well, but
to maybe identify what they're going to actually do. Maybe
a lot of those guests have been planned for a while because I listened to James Arnold Taylor's podcast. Talking to myself, he talks about this a little bit where obviously he knew he was going to Celebration before it was announced. He knew like Matt Lanter has been officially announced. He knows a lot of these other people that are going. It just hasn't been publicly announced yet. So they've got. I'm sure. I guess they have some sort of marketing plan. I don't know who
Lanter was just announced.
He was just announced. Some other Clone Wars actors, were announced. And
it was Tabor, wasn't it? No, she was.
Well, Ashley Eckstein. I think she might have been. I don't know. I'm sure all of them are going to be coming eventually because it's Clone Wars. Obviously,
it was Tia Sakar,
okay,
Ray Park,
Ray
Lanter.
Park. Sam Wentworth is going to be there. I think that was like last week though.
Yeah,
that was
he was last week.
Everybody's going to be there.
It's the biggest year.
It's going to be huge,
massive.
So it should be no surprise who will be there. I think it's going to be.
So we do know that the Galaxy's we do know that Fallen Order is on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We do know that the Phantom Menace 20th is on Monday.
Right. Yes.
That's really it.
Yeah.
There's no news about an Episode 9 panel yet or when that's going to be. I actually think that's going to be Saturday morning. Mm-hmm. Because they usually do that on this. But then, I don't know because.
Well, that's how they did it with the Thursday.
Yeah,
the first thing was the 40th anniversary of A New Hope. The next day was Episode 8.
Yes.
So
because I think they give you a chance to spend the night after the first night.
Yeah.
Into the big panel.
Right.
So I still feel like 9 will be Saturday morning. I do feel like there will be some kind of kickoff and something big on Friday morning though.
Mm-hmm.
But we just won't get a trailer for 9 until Saturday morning.
Yeah.
but didn't episode 7 kicked off Celebration Anaheim? Because I didn't make it.
Yeah.
Because we flew in that morning and made it over there when it was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So could be Friday morning.
Who knows? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd have thought that they might have done it since it is anniversary of Phantom Menace. That would have been the opener, but
I did too.
I guess they're betting that everybody doesn't really care as much.
Yeah, there's no love for it enough.
Unfortunately, but I think we're getting there.
Yeah,
maybe this will help.
There could be. I mean, I'll just throw this out there. I mean, you could actually do the kick it off. You could do kind of like a just an overall 8 movie saga thing leading up to Episode 9.
This is the end, supposedly.
Yes, like the Skywalker saga panel, almost like kind of thing. You know, you could do something like that.
That'd be cool. Whole Skywalker panel itself, it would be really cool.
Because if you think about like the way the poster's set up, right? It's like it's like both, like the whole saga's right there.
Yeah,
you could do something like that.
That'd be cool. You could bring all the actors back to it too.
Yes, you could. That's a lot. I mean, it's just like the 40th. Much, yeah, but
that'd be cool.
So little, not much news, like we said. We just ran through a little bit of that, but I think the one thing I did want to hit on, which I thought was incredible, was fanboy. If you don't know, he's a huge fanboy. Topher Grace. Mm-hmm. If you don't know who he is, he's a movie star. I
don't think he's anything Star Wars officially, right?
He hasn't. He hasn't done anything Star Wars. He's done, he's obviously big on that 70s show.
Yeah, they did some Star Wars things on that show. Yeah,
yes,
that was funny.
He was in, He was in the Predators movie.
Mm-hmm. Just recently, he was in Black Klansman.
Yes, Black Klansman. That's right. Anyway, he caught huge Star Wars fan. He caught some praise apparently, or he started some stirs and stuff like that a few years ago when he actually cut the prequel trilogy down to like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
He edited it himself, and I guess a friend of his, I think the same guy, Jeff Yorks. And they showed it to a bunch of friends. They invited a bunch of friends over to his house. They screened it. Apparently, like Seth Green was there. I mean, people were raving about this thing.
Yeah.
Never made it out, and it probably never will.
I don't see how it could. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so interesting to think about what. I mean, basically, it's a 90-minute trailer of the three movies in a sense, but it tells the whole story, right? So I guess it's funny because I think he in his tweet he characterized what he did this weekend. He said something like, "When the women are out of town, this is what we do. We get together and make Star Wars fan films or something like that."
Yeah.
So Topher and Jeff Yorks again get together and they cut a saga trailer. They call it the Star Wars mega trailer. It's titled Star Wars Always, and it's a 5.5-minute trailer of the entire saga. And what did you think about it?
That was lovely.
Yeah.
It's a great. I mean, talking again about like Phantom Menace, it's a great way to show how indeed everything does tie together, and paints a great picture of how George Lucas to Lucasfilm General Story Group they've threaded the saga and these characters and the themes to me perfectly. I mean, as a central at the heart of what the saga means, dealing with the Skywalker family and its legacy, that is definitely to me carried through all 7, 8, 9 films. Well, 8 films so far, but they show a little bit of solo footage in there. I don't think they show any Rogue One footage in it.
Yeah, there's some Jin in there.
Oh,
shots of Jin.
That's right. Yeah,
and the rebellion size and stuff like that. Yeah.
So
no, they used all the movies. Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah, and they used some deleted scenes too from A New Hope.
It starts off with a deleted scene. Yeah,
which makes sense. It helps, but
it throws you off because it's not full widescreen.
Yeah,
it's from the Blu-rays, I guess. It's center cut or whatever.
But great, and it does a lot of juxtaposition where talking about Luke shows clips from him through all the movies, and even the moment where he's about to kill Ben Solo in the flashback, the flashback in Last Jedi. So it's very well done.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Topher Grace. I feel like I remember when he did that mashup, he was talking about how he just wanted to learn editing in general, and this was like the great exercise to teach him how to edit that So he's carrying. I hope he keeps doing that. I hope he keeps putting out what he can.
I know. So Jeff Yorks. Actually, this is his tweet. So he tweeted out. He said, "So why don't studios make mega trailers? Quotation marks." Tying all the movies of one franchise together, reminding you why you fell in love with the first place. Wouldn't that kick ass? Well, that's what my pal Topher Grace and I thought. And then that's what they did. They made this mega trailer.
Pretty much fans do that all the time. But
they do.
Official studios never do it. No, I don't think. But
and honestly, that is something I actually do think we could get a celebration. Mm-hmm. A big, like I said, a big mashup trailer. Mm-hmm. Not official trailer of Episode 9, obviously, but like a mashup trailer leading into Episode 9, kind of the summary of the saga right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was even longer than 5 minutes.
I totally
like a 15-minute
thing. There is something like this at Hollywood Studios,
right? It's called. You told me about that.
Yeah, it's called Path of the Jedi.
Right. Yeah, I think it's on YouTube. I think I saw it.
Yeah, it follows Luke Skywalker's journey a little bit.
Yeah, that's really cool.
They did. Unfortunately, they haven't added much. I saw it last year, and they basically towards the end, they added the teaser trailer for The Last Jedi.
Slapped it on.
Yeah, there wasn't like part of it, So I was like, oh, they faked that. But they made it right after Force Awakens, so Force Awakens was incorporated in it a little bit. But yeah, it's just a great. But the thing about it is what makes this so hard is. It's hard to get clean audio, when you're making stuff like this. I mean, you have to almost pick your points where you can, because unless you can take the time to really start stripping down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, StarWars.com has a whole data bank of good lines, but it doesn't make it work with the story that you're trying to tell in these trailers. I kind of struggled with that a little bit a couple years ago when we were doing our journey to Force Awakens, and we were making not Force Awakens, but Last Jedi. We were making some of those trailers, and I remember when I was trying to build that story, I was like, I want to use this line from the movie, but there's music going on, and they didn't have that stripped down on StarWars.com, so I had to like. There was a couple times where I had to like remove.
Compromise.
I had to remove the background. Try to remove the background noise.
Oh, you had to actually fix it.
Yeah.
Ugh, man.
A couple times I did, but it worked. I mean, I thought I got clean as much as clean as I could, but it is really fun if you can and do that. I mean, this is kind of making me want to go back and make some kind of saga
big thing,
saga trailer.
Why not? Yeah.
I might do that, but
I'll take some time.
I got 8-9 months till the movie comes out, right?
Yeah,
that could be
sure.
So anyway, go check that out if you haven't seen it. You can go any blog site I think is posting it. I saw it on force.net. Or you can go to Topher Grace's. He's at Topher Grace on Twitter. I'm sure he's got it on there. So go check it out. Pretty cool what fans can do out there. Okay, the big news that just dropped actually, I think today, didn't it? Was it today? All the Galaxy's Edge stuff? No, it was yesterday.
Okay.
So yesterday on StarWars.com, the Star Wars show actually broke it with the little breaking news thing. Mm-hmm. I'm bad. I haven't really watched it in a while.
When I see the posted, I just kind of see what the headlines are. To be honest, unfortunately, and if typically if it's news, I already know about it, or
right.
Interviews, I'll catch highlights or that kind of thing. I mean, Matt Lanter was on this last one, which I would actually like to see.
Yeah, I do gotta watch it.
And Star Wars Show confirmed that Mandalorian is wrapped.
That's right.
So they so we do know for sure, not just based off that Instagram post, but they confirmed it, which is good. Good to know for sure.
And again, everybody's still talking about 9 and Mandalorian at Celebration, but they're not talking about the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
it's coming back.
It's quiet. It's super quiet.
It is.
We haven't gotten. We probably won't see anything else from it until Celebration. I would imagine they would show an episode. I would hope.
Yeah, but because Collider was actually just saying how they were saying they think Episode 9 was going to be Friday.
Yeah, Mandalorian
Saturday, Fallen Order Sunday. But now we know Fallen Order, they must have recorded before Fallen Order. Now it says Fallen Order Saturday. And I don't think Fallen Order is going to be like a big morning thing.
I wouldn't think so.
I feel like it's got to be Clone Wars. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like, and again, I think that Clone Wars will debut there. Like, we'll get 2 episodes there. If you're lucky enough to get inside, you will see 2 episodes of the Clone Wars.
I think the last Celebration, they paired Battlefront 2 with Rebels. They did. I think we tried to get in Rebels, but some conflict.
I think we were late to get in line, so we just thought we'd go to we were going to go see it at the stage, and then go to the Battlefront.
Right. So, but we just stayed in where they did the live show in the pit area. And we just saw it on the big screen there. It was still pretty cool.
But if you were in the room, you saw the episode.
Yeah.
They're going to do that again.
So they might do the same thing for Saturday morning. They may have Clone Wars and Fallen Order. Maybe.
Yeah,
who knows?
And I went back on it a little bit last week, but I'm back on it again. That now that Mandalorian is wrapped, there's plenty of time to have cut the first episode by Celebration.
Yeah, I would think.
So the first episode's debuting. The first episode's debuting at Celebration. I have a feeling. Mm-hmm. Now that is something to talk about.
Mm-hmm. No, that's history making. Yeah,
that would be something to talk about at Celebration. Okay, so StarWars.com released a bunch of articles about Galaxy's Edge. A lot of details about what you can experience. First at Hollywood or at Disneyland in California on this summer, and then of course at Disney World, Hollywood Studios in Florida, late fall of this year, probably like October, November. So there's a list there. We'll just kind of run through real fast, but one of the articles is entitled 27 Things We Learned About Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So they're still calling it Galaxy's Edge. I guess the park is called Galaxy's Edge. But the actual, they go into detail about the name and everything about, one of the articles does about Batuu being Black Spire Outpost. In fact, Carrie Beck, who is a producer, one of the VPs there, she mentions how it took them a year to decide on a name. Black Spire Outpost. Yeah, it took them a year. Which is funny because, I mean, there's already been articles or, stories and stuff.
Yeah.
The whole Thrawn book was based there, basically.
Did Han Solo mention it? Black Spire?
It's in Solo, the movie.
Yeah. That's right.
L3 says it.
Right.
When they're walking, she says something like, she says something about Kessel, and she says something about Black Spire. She says Black Spire.
Yes. Okay.
She does mention it. Because I remember hearing it in that while watching it. I was like, oh my God, they just mentioned we're going to go to that place. So anyway, real quick, let's go through these. Number 1, you may fly the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy. So 2 large attraction rides that are going to be at Galaxy's Edge. One is called Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, which you will be able to get into the cockpit and fly. What I read is that it's 6 people can ride this thing at one time. So you have 2 gunners, you have 2 pilots, and you have 2 engineers. And so as the ride goes on, and what I don't get is whether or not it says 2 anchor. So he has 2 anchor attractions, and it will see a group of 6 in the cockpit of the Falcon. So I guess you're in the cockpit. You will fly, fire its cannons, and manage its controls. But I also read where, it says right here, if you don't fire and hit that TIE fighter that's coming after you, it may get some shots and create some damage on the ship that you'll have to fix. If you don't fly right to avoid that oncoming whatever, you smash into a wall, your ship is going to fly right and smash into that wall. So you're fully in control of this. So you have to fully steer, which makes it fully interactive. But yeah, it says something like someone will have to fix,
that'd be fun.
change the deflector shields, whatever. It's like
nice.
I mean, it's really neat. And then the other ride is Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. So the beauty of this park, it's set in the obviously this time frame now of the sequel trilogy, which is the First Order and Resistance. So, but this ride now, if you haven't seen any of this ride, go to just Google it.
Yeah,
you can get. They haven't released obviously the full experience, but the way it's described. Have you seen? This is the one where you get in these little pods or whatever. And it's weird because for a while it's on a track, but then eventually it becomes trackless, and you're like in a Resistance base, and you're literally seeing a battle going on.
Yeah,
I just don't know how.
All I've seen is this little concept art they have here of what the big
AT-ATs,
big walkers.
Yeah. Apparently you're going. I mean, you're in a battle going on, and they said it's unbelievable. And I think I read or I heard that there is a VR aspect of it, but I'm not 100% sure about that. You'll encounter BB-8, Finn, Poe, and Rey on that ride. So they reprise those roles. Boyega, Oscar Isaacs, and Daisy Ridley. A real BB-8 will be on set there with you.
Sweet.
It does say number 4 is the Galaxy's Edge takes place during the sequel trilogy. Kind of knew that. Pablo Hidalgo is a big part of the storyline. There's new ships at the outpost. Now this was pretty cool. Number 6. It says Galaxy's Edge was designed to be somewhat future proofed, and this is pretty cool. Like if you read that, basically what they meant to do, which is really cool, is if you think about it, it's right now it's set in the First Order and Resistance. Well, it's such an old remote station, spaceport.
Yeah.
What they're saying there is that a couple years later, after the sequel trilogy is kind of come and gone, and there's another era that they're pushing, they can change like the decorations.
Right.
They can change the characters.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's in the prequel trilogy, the prequel time. or another time, or whatever. So you can switch out the First Order stormtroopers and put the older stormtroopers.
Sure, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's a whole nother experience.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how freaking brilliant is that, right?
Or even just beyond,
Totally.
Whatever
comes up.
Yeah, that would be nuts.
So just think about the possibilities. It's like you can't really do that, with Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
It's the same park, you enjoy what you enjoy there. But if you were told, okay, now it's the Empire versus the Rebels, and you go back, I mean, you could, instead of seeing, like Poe and Finn or whatever, you see Leia and I don't know how they would do that, but
that's kind of probably why the Star Tours eventually went away. I mean, obviously to make room for Star Wars lands, but it was so old, and they tried to update it, and I guess it just needed to go away altogether in a way, so they can make a newer, cooler version, which to me is the Millennium Falcon ride.
Totally.
It's like Star Tours times 1,000. It sounds like.
Yes, totally.
Very exciting.
Of course, there's concept art here of these interiors. You can make your own one of a kind lightsaber. Now, what's cool about this, which I can't get, I don't see any confirmation of it, but you can make your own lightsaber now there, but it's the plastic version. I actually think this is the metal version.
This will be legit
because
crazy.
This actually, you can actually pick a kyber crystal and put it in its, which I'm dying to do.
Just may take a kyber crystal just to keep it separately. I don't know. Just snag an extra one.
Yeah, so I really think it's the metal versions. Like you can basically create, I mean, it might be pricey, but
Yeah. Well, hey, it's okay.
Yes. There's a droid depot where you can build droids. I mean, again, the concept art is incredible. This number 9, it says if you're looking for a pet, go to Bina's Creature Stall. So they're actually naming some of these people that I should have looked up.
But yeah, every one of these people will have names, will have backgrounds, just like the movies where every character, like in the cantinas, has.
Yeah, so the lightsaber shop is Savi's workshop. So Savvy will be, and on top of this, well, I think it's later on, but creatures thing number 10. It's the largest land expansion in Disney Parks history. It's 14 acres.
Shoo. Small city. That's how they call it. A small city.
Basically, a small city. Yeah, so the goal is to give our guests the opportunity to live their own Star Wars story. So it's filled with stuff like that, characters and stuff like that. It's like it says it's a massive e-ticket experience, basically. Number 12, blue milk will be served by Aunt Beru in Star Wars A New Hope, or the same drink served by her will be among the things you can buy. There's also green milk.
You did the green one, I guess. From Last Jedi.
Duh, that's hilarious.
But it's not milk though. It's going to be a plant-based dairy.
Oh.
Cool, refreshing, glorious.
I wonder if the blue is the blue milk going to actually be blue milk?
No, it's not. I don't think it'll be.
Oh, it's saying that it's actually
it's got its own little unique recipe.
Wow. Okay. You got Ronto Roasters and Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo are your destinations. So if you're not familiar with Disney, honestly, one of the biggest parts of Disney is actually the food.
Yes.
The restaurants there. That's why they have dining plans.
Such good food.
Oh man, you have things called, you have restaurants that are called quick service restaurants, and then you have what they call dining restaurants, which means basically the difference is if you think about it, quick service is basically you order your food, grab it, sit down. The dining dinners are you actually sit down and have a waiter and get waited. And when you do meal plans, you basically get a quick service and a dinner per person, every day. So I'm assuming these places are some of those different places. They'll have dining options there. Every park has their own dining options. It's pretty incredible. So 14, there are loth cats.
Ooh. Cool.
So I don't know what that means. I guess they're running. I don't know what that means.
They're stationary. Like they're just little animatronics.
So animatronics. Oh my god!
Just they'll just be kind of sitting around, laying around, interacting. That'd be really cool.
15, there's a toy shop run by a female Todarian Zabaka, and its items look and feel like they were made in the galaxy far, far away. This is really cool. If you ever wanted to be a Jedi, you can dress like one now.
Woo.
There's actually going to be a shop there with Star Wars clothes.
Like, it better be official movie quality Jedi robes. That will cost.
That would be probably
of
expensive, yeah.
yeah.
But I think there's going to be racks of just
Pretty
like
cool.
a Jedi
Pretty good
robe.
stuff. Yeah, that'd be so.
How many people?
It's like my dream closet.
How many people guests are going to be walking around this
Yeah.
place?
Everybody's
You know
gonna
what I
be
mean?
like Jedi, Sith, Rey clothes, whatever.
I mean,
cloaks and.
I feel like it's going to be
Tunics.
like a constant like Star Wars celebration where like
Yeah.
people
Oh,
are just
that's true,
cosplaying
yeah.
all over the place.
Absolutely. Ugh. I can't imagine this place in the first month, year, 3 years. It's gonna be jam packed the whole time.
I agree. I mean,
I don't know. Hopefully, they're prepared with all the stock, all the merchandise, like all these clothes. They're gonna go off the shelves fast. Every day
Agreed.
they'll get sold out.
agreed.
Man,
Yes, I don't know if they're making enough that's going to cover this.
So much money being made.
And then you got number 17 here. You got Rise of the Resistance is gloriously long. So the ride we were just talking about, this is one of the most epic attraction experiences we have ever built. 18, upon entering... this is pretty cool. Upon entering Galaxy's Edge, your phone will transform into your very own in-universe data pad. So
cool.
basically, it unlocks missions, stories, ways to interact. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like
You have to download the Disney Parks app.
that's right. It's the Play Disney Parks
Yeah,
app. Yes,
Play Disney Parks app, and then it'll happen for you.
it switches to Star Wars mode, and then it does. Oh, it's gonna be now. This message is from
Translate
Hondo. Hondo is a big character in this,
Yes.
which means he's actually survived.
Yeah,
This whole time.
It has to mean that.
I mean, he's from the Clone Wars.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely. Well, I mean, I don't know how old Wee Quays can.
Yeah,
you know,
obviously
right?
pretty
So,
old.
Yeah, so he hasn't aged a bit, but that's
Because that's
awesome.
50 years,
Gosh, it's got
right?
Yeah.
It's 19 and then 30,
yeah.
6 or something like that. I mean, it's like over 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's. I mean, he's probably he could probably
70s. No,
yeah, he
80s.
probably lives till he's a couple hundred.
Yeah, sure.
But Hondo Onaka is John Williams' score will be used in appropriate places. And it says right here's where it said once in a name. Hundreds of names were discussed, and it took over a year to settle on Black Spire Outpost. There's more spires than meets the eye. Now this is pretty awesome. I think this is what the part. No, okay. Was that the one? I think this is the part where it reads. So, no, it just talks about how the spires.
Well, they had Doug Chang, who's
Concept artist.
Yeah, concept artist. He's huge, big deal over at Lucasfilm, and he's done all the designing work, the storyboards and everything. He had a huge hand in designing the look of all the spires, all the buildings and architecture of Galaxy's Edge, and it just talks a little bit about that.
22 is be sure to visit Doc Ondor's Den of Antiquities. So he was he's the oh man, I can't remember he's Ithorian.
Gatekeeper.
He's the big snout.
Yeah, he's a hammerhead.
Basically, yeah. So he's got his own shop there. See, it's just me curious to see him walking around there. I mean, I'm sure he's going to. Hondo comes to life, like we said. He's going to be the Weequay pirate's going to be around.
There's some video already out there of the animatronic that's going into Hondo's performance with those, so it's going to be quite different.
Yeah. 24 Rex from Star Tours has a new gig. He's piloting.
Oh, he's back. Awesome.
No longer piloting Star Tours. R3X is now a DJ at Oga's Cantina.
Hilarious.
Where you can order galactic drinks like Fuzzy Tauntaun.
A fuzzy tauntaun.
A Fuzzy Tauntaun. Now, this is pretty interesting. Number 25. It's filled with Easter eggs. There are way too many to mention. So it's like, oh my gosh. I mean, now this is pretty cool. Cast members are going to be walking around. So Disney cast members are going to be walking around as
like civilians,
of Batuu.
Yeah.
And you can interact with them. They could talk to you about things.
That's my dream job. That's always been my dream job.
I know, right? I was thinking actually, thinking of Casey actually. That I mean, you basically live in Star Wars.
It's like, yeah, I'll play Star Wars all day and make money.
Oh my gosh, I know, right? So Batuu, then the last one, Batuu spires were a key to making Galaxy Edge unique. But here, one of these, I can't remember one of these, but or it might have been a different article. What was crazy that it was talking about was I guess we have to walk into it to really experience it, but it was talking about how when you walk in, the way the spires are shaped, the way the buildings are shaped, like they talked about Disneyland, like you walk in and immediately, again, the way things are shaped, the sounds, the outside sounds of like the normal world, the traffic and all that stuff, it like disappears. And it's shaped in a way to where you don't see anything else beyond this area.
It's crazy.
So you really feel like you're transported into a different galaxy. I mean, it's amazing how they design that stuff, you know?
Can't believe that. That's crazy. I mean, imagine all the plants. Will that be real? Maybe will it look real enough? I mean, there's gonna be some alien looking plants probably that are fake, but
I mean, it's got greenery. Greenery. So it's looked like it's more. It's looks like kind of a foresty with just these big spires. So it looks like there's trees in the middle a little bit.
I gotta find this post. I think it was Force.net that posted it, but basically, Force.net. I can't have to find it, but basically it said what Disney imagines Galaxy's Edge will be, and then what it'll actually be like. Basically, in terms of crowds.
Oh man,
I'll have to show it to you. But if you guys go to Force.net's Instagram account, there's a promotional picture that Star Wars put out of a little girl pulling her dad's arm towards the Millennium Falcon.
Yes,
like so. Disney's image of Galaxy's Edge is that. Galaxy's Edge in real life. It's just a sea of endless people
that you can't move
back to back. Yeah, shoulder to shoulder, can't move, going to the Millennium Falcon.
That's very true.
It's like that's how it's going to be, probably for months.
Yes. So, I don't know how they're going to handle it. I really don't know how they're going to handle it.
And I read somewhere that obviously that question's been asked, and all they can say is their crew are aware of it and they're on it. So we'll see.
Well, there's got to be a limit. You can't just open the door and let everybody in. You got to basically police it.
Jingle all the way and streaming, running over people.
So there's going to be a line. There literally might be a line just to get in.
I mean, I think the longest time I've waited for a ride at Disney is several hours. Like Toy Story Mania when that was first out there. But
well, I heard when Toy Story opened, I think it was like a 4-hour wait to get in, just to get in.
Yeah,
to walk around.
I imagine it'll be better half of. Closer to 10 hours than anything, like 5 hours to get in, wait for a ride. You are waiting. You are camping out and waiting. But hopefully you're waiting in one of the coolest places ever.
True. I can't imagine. My wife and I were talking about it because obviously we're going this year before it opens, so we don't have to worry about it. But planning, because you have to grab like dinner reservations.
Yeah,
like they go fast. Yeah, so to get a dinner reservation there and somewhere, it's like, man, you got to be strategic about it. So
you'll need to get on top of it when I'm sure they'll make a big announcement like start making reservations at this diner or whatever now. And,
I know
it's going to go fast.
It's going to go fast, incredibly fast. But so anyway, big news on Galaxy's Edge. I'm sure again at Celebration we'll probably get a little bit more stuff, but. Okay, so I think the big thing I wanted to talk about and get our opinions on this, like I said, it was that we mentioned it was announced that the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order video game, which we have seen nothing of,
nothing,
and apparently this thing's coming out this fall. The panel was announced for Celebrate Chicago, which will be on Saturday, April 13th, and is being produced by EA and Respawn. And this game will meet in which gamers will meet Padawan, who survived Order 66 and explored the galaxy in a time after the fall of the Jedi Order. The discussions will feature never before released details ahead of the games. Yeah, never before released, exactly, because that's the only release information that we have is that sentence I just read. So interesting, though, that we do know the timeline. I guess I wanted to talk a little bit about this episode right now, Case, on what storylines can you have? What is this? Where do you see the game going in storyline wise?
Fallen Order.
Because it's interesting. I will say what's interesting is that the image that they put out there, or that's out there, has a hooded Jedi. Mm-hmm. Have you seen this image right here? Where it's the hooded Jedi with a green saber, and there's 6 people behind them that have red lightsabers. Now, of course, we've seen this before now a little bit because this is the time of the Inquisitors, right? So obviously that could be explained, but they look like they're all robed. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. But obviously, there's no lightsaber game without lightsaber battles.
Of course.
So you're going to be fighting somebody, but I don't know. What do you think is... Do you think we know who this character is, or is it going to be a new character? Probably. Obviously, somebody we never heard of.
I think they're going to go for someone new for the sake of marketing and merchandising. Some new stuff. It'd be cool if it was Kanan, Caleb Doom kind of thing. That doesn't fit with what we already know with his story. So I think it's got to be someone new. But again, it's just it's very exciting, of course, that we're getting this and finally getting a really cool campaign game with Jedi and Sith, Inquisitors, and lightsaber battles and all that cool stuff. But you're once again putting yourself in a hole that you're kind of now retroactively trying to write that story and think, okay, how do we explain him in future stories and past stories, future stories, so that it makes sense. And you're packing in what is existing in the canon. You're not branching off to some new corner that we haven't seen yet, which would be easier to tell. I mean, to me, it would be easier to tell those stories because you're not bound by anything. But this, it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be hard. But I'm excited to see how they do that. Much like with Battlefront 2, when we were introduced to Iden Versio, you're putting yourself in a hole there. Not much room to grow, but through her story in that campaign, we now know she's still alive, and this is kind of where she's been and what she's been doing. So it makes sense. I'm sure they'll do it just fine with this new character, but. I mean, to me, it just sounds story-wise. I can't think of anything too crazy besides what we already know. It's Padawan on the run from Inquisitors, fending off some bad guys and running around the galaxy. So I can't think of what like a bigger plot would be. I wouldn't think Vader would get too involved, but maybe. I don't know.
I think you have to have Vader involved.
It would be cool, to have him.
Like that's who you're running from. I feel like,
it's to me, it's almost like a Force Unleashed feel.
It could
similar be. Time period. This character who has dealings with very popular legacy characters, but I can't imagine this as a Padawan. Well, I don't know. Anything's possible. It could be a really super strong Force user, which is why maybe he has so much attention on him. Because everybody gets so hung up on how is he so strong in the Force? We've never seen or heard of him before, kind of thing. But he's just a Padawan, so he hasn't really been too discovered yet. So he's gonna be kind of young. But that picture there makes him look a little older.
I mean, in this picture, again, I guess I don't know if it's official to the game or if it's just kind of a I don't know, something they created to tease it. But I mean, he's obviously human looking, so it's not like. It's not like any of those Jedi we would think it would be. Mm-hmm. I mean, all the main ones died in 3 anyway, that we know of. But do we know if Do we know if Quinlan Voss survived?
He survived because he was in that Vader comic. He was on that list.
He was on that list?
Yes,
Can't remember.
he was. I'm pretty sure he was. Yeah,
Because in this image, it kind of looks like he's got
a little makeup.
things under his eyes.
Yeah, it looks like he does have a little makeup or something.
Yeah,
there.
like those lines.
Yeah, a little
So
color.
could it be Quinlan Voss?
That would be awesome.
That would be.
But he's not a Padawan. He's a master.
You're right.
And they're
You're
pretty
right.
specific.
That's right.
But I mean, I think
You're very
I
right.
think
Meet up
any of that
Padawan
could
and
change,
survive.
though.
That's right.
Because, again,
I mean, he looks like an old Padawan.
he does look like he's old. So that's the only thing is if that's just concept art. I think anything could change
Could
by
be.
the time they release that.
Yeah.
Just like tons of things were changing with 1313 and that other visceral game with the smuggler that was supposed to be like a Han Solo kind of character. Like it wasn't, whatever. So now, this character could not be Padawan. He could now be a master Quinlan Voss. That to me would be awesome.
It would be.
Because I want that story. I love Quinlan Voss now.
Agreed.
After
Dark Disciple.
Dark Disciple. That was brilliant. So
Brilliant.
love to
Do you
hear it.
think, though, that this is now Respawn, is that who did the Batman games?
Oh,
They didn't do the
don't
Batman.
think
no,
so.
that was Rocksteady, I think.
yeah, I think that's right. I'm actually really bad at video game studios, but
But I'm
maybe.
curious to think, do you think, or do you know, I don't think we've read or heard, is this going to be like you think it's going to be like an open world type game? Or, because I know they were working on
they
one,
were.
or is this going to be literally just a campaign game, like you said, Force Unleashed, where you follow a certain line?
I'm betting that it's just a straight up simple campaign game, but now I feel like there are hybrids of that where you have it's a little open world, but not as big as a Fallout or Skyrim. I'm actually just now starting to play another one called Horizon Zero Dawn, where it's open world, but it's so far it doesn't feel as big as those games. So, like the new Spider-Man game is a perfect example.
Yes, like that's open world, right?
It's a small open world. I mean, you're in New York,
city.
It's the city, and you have
tons
of side.
Yeah, but so it has like a Grand Theft Auto feel to it. Is that what I heard?
A little,
read?
yeah. I mean, that's pretty close. That's closer to that.
That's what I mean by open world, where you kind of.
But like Grand Theft Auto, you can shoot and kill anybody you want, any pedestrian. You can do literally crash and do whatever. Spider-Man, Spider-Man can't just go punch a guy on the sidewalk. Like he has this campaign, but if you want to take a break from the campaign and just fight crime around the city, like there's plenty of crime around the city. You can just go find it, or other challenges that you can do. Side missions. Now they have DLC content coming in.
Yeah.
So I imagine it's gonna be kind of like that, where you have this the sandbox that's bigger than what normal any other Star Wars game obviously we've gotten, but you still have a very strong campaign that you're clearly going to, and you see the end. It's not like you can spend 80 hours in this game and still not scratch the surface.
Yeah.
I think,
which is kind of what I want.
yeah, that too, very much so. So I'm really sad that those games have not been panning out.
Is that kind of like what I never played like Knights of the Old Republic.
No, that was never. I mean, now the MMO game now is kind of like that. They keep adding stories to it. But no, Knights of the Republic. There were some there were side quests. There was the main quest. There were side quests.
Okay.
But it's not necessarily open. You can go from planet to planet if you want to. But
an open world I don't know how you do it, but that would be
it's
where you
for
just
Star Wars.
where you just fly around and just discover things.
Because now these games, like especially the Spider-Man game, which was incredible, the intercut scenes interweave perfectly with gameplay. You can't tell the difference.
Wow.
And several there's a lot of games that are doing it now,
Yeah,
Spider-Man, I just recently played it, so it's fresh in my mind. But it's you have the scene playing out, then it transitions to perfectly. You are a playable character. Then you just go on about the game. And so I can see them doing that with like an open world game where you're on the surface of the planet, hop in a ship, fly out in the atmosphere into space. You can do a fast travel to maybe another planet if you want, or hit a hyperspace route, and then you're on immediately to the next planet. You know, land, it's just seamless.
Land and go eat something or hang out and do a mission.
I mean, Fallen Order to me could have that elements, but once you start adding other planets like that, then it becomes a truly, to me, open world. Maybe they'll keep it to one planet or a couple planets. I don't know, but Star Wars definitely needs a game.
That's why That's why I felt like 1313 was going to be so, because that sounds like a life of like a bounty hunter or a smuggler, where you're just traveling around, taking jobs, doing whatever. You know what I mean? So you have all these missions. So you could, if you had an open world like that, you could establish just hundreds of jobs all over the galaxy, and just bounce around and just.
Yeah,
dude. I mean, that would be incredible.
That could be.
You would spend days playing that. I mean,
and that's the beauty of open world games is you don't ever have to do the main quest if you don't want to. You can just do hours and hours and days of side quests.
That's right. Which is like Grand Theft Auto, right? Because I never got into Grand Theft Auto.
I did a little bit,
but I heard people spend like hours and they barely scratch it.
Yeah. I tried Fallout, and that happened to me. I've never quite devoted myself to an open world game from beginning to end. So I definitely see Fallen Order being like a Spider-Man, where it's a big sandbox you can play in, but it's not quite open world to where it's endless. There is an end, and you can be done and pretty quickly.
I just don't want it to be. Like 3 hours.
That was like Force Unleashed too. It was like a 10, 15-hour game, like 15. Maybe it was like 15, 8, 20, but very short.
Very short.
I think even one of the newer Batman Arkham games was even short like that. But
it was.
Yeah, I want a 40, 50-hour game at least.
I know.
Come on.
And then I want it to be downloadable to add more content.
Yes. That definitely, I'm sure.
It's got to be a part of it.
I wish that Battlefront 2 did more of that, but that's not like they are.
So Respawn is responsible for Titanfall, which was a big game, Titanfall 2, and then the recently released Apex Legends that I've been hearing great things about. People are falling in love with that game. Yeah. So in the next game, they have 2 games in development right now, Star Wars Jedi and then an untitled, actually a VR game that's going to be it's a Windows game, so maybe it just as Windows right now, so it might just be, it's because it's Oculus. It's an Oculus game. So interesting. Get into the VR space. But yeah, Apex Legends I've been hearing is getting a lot of plugging and actually it's set in the Titanfall universe as Apex Legends. It's like a battle royale game.
Okay.
Very similar to Fortnite.
Yeah.
That's so huge right now. Anyway, Fallen Order, again, coming late this year.
I'll definitely try to get in that panel if I can, because
absolutely, absolutely.
I don't game as much as I want to, but
I just don't think there's a game there to
Star Wars
anyways. Yeah,
no, Star Wars wise.
But you're right. I don't game. I game. I do want to get in. I'm dying. Complete sidebar. I'm actually dying to get that re-release of Resident Evil 2.
Oh yeah, I've been hearing about it. I didn't follow it at all until it was already
out.
People
are going crazy.
Like, wow, that's because I know you played those games.
Yes.
I barely got into it when they first came out. Honestly, they scared me. So I was like, I can't play this game. But,
they are freaking scary. Yeah. But I remember Resident Evil. The first game was because it was on the first PlayStation.
Yeah.
But Resident Evil 2 really stepped it up.
Yeah.
And because there was a lot of problem solving. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was a time. There's the police station. If people have read the police station part of it, I mean, there was just things you had to do like several days worth of things to even get through the police station. It's incredible. You had to do this and take it over here to do that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but the storyline was incredible. So what they did was they remastered. I mean, they completely redid the game.
Yeah, that's mind-boggling to me.
To this, because it went from PS1, which I think it was only 16-bit, maybe.
Jeez, yeah,
right? Because, or maybe it was 32-bit. No, wait,
16 seems pretty low, but yeah, maybe.
I think I think it was 16-bit because the PS2 was 32, and then PS3.
I don't know.
I don't know. N64 was 64-bit.
Those were pretty good.
Was that I think that might have been the time of PS2. So maybe there was 64-bit. I don't know, whatever. But it was old school, and it looked good at the time. Standard definition on your tube TV.
Yeah.
But it was scary because like every time you went to open a door, it would cut to just a door.
Yeah.
And it would open and then be black, and then you never knew what. And then all of a sudden, it would just the screen would pop on. It could be some zombie like right there. It's crazy scary. But yeah, I know. I think the real quick. I think the storyline. I don't know. I think the storyline is going to be. I feel like it's you getting chased. I mean, if you're avoiding, I don't. I mean, I guess you'll have a mission. But I feel like you're just going to be like tracked, and you're just trying to stay underground. I don't know.
Well, they're going to have to allow those side quests to happen. So maybe he has a cover story. Maybe he's in hiding. So he's and he's maybe to me it might be similar to Kanan Jarrus, where he's trying to stay hidden, but he keeps being drawn into helping people. So there will be side quests where he will try to help, but each game tries to, I feel like, have their unique gameplay feature, gimmick, or whatever it is. So maybe he'll have a certain notoriety, like a Grand Theft Auto, like a notoriety level where he's doing so many side quests where he's getting more attention, more notice by the Inquisitors, and then all of a sudden Inquisitors come and attack you, then you defeat them, go more into, get more incognito, then you kind of rebuild from there. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we are going to get blown away.
I hope so,
we're
man.
See,
Star Wars game world needs a big win.
It does need a big one.
Battlefront 2 is, I do enjoy it. They're definitely coming out with a great additional content for the online portion of it. I just wish they were coming out more campaign chapters because we definitely need that. So maybe they're saving it for Battlefront 3. I don't know, but we definitely need something.
Is there gonna be? I mean, I guess there would be a Battlefront 3. Well,
it doesn't seem like there needs to be on the online side because they are adding so much more content to that. You have all eras now.
Yes.
They just released Count Dooku, I think. So
they did.
They have more maps, more gameplays. Actually,
I think Dooku. They're about to announce Anakin.
Oh yeah, he's about to come out.
Yeah, Anakin's about to come out.
But
I think it might have been today or yesterday. Yeah. Okay. Now we are officially 40 days from Star Wars Celebration because we were just at 41 and 0 hours. Now it's into 40 hours left, or 40 days left to Star Wars Celebration. Thanks everybody for hanging with us. Again, we will do our best to fill our time as we get closer with no news and things to talk about. Really, there's things to talk about, but nothing. I do. What's the? I should bring it up because I think it might be coming up. The release of the Master and Apprentice book.
Oh yes, indeed. There was an excerpt released from that. Yeah. Recently, relatively a couple weeks ago, but
I'll try to get it real fast. But
and I think there was there a new cover released? I think for maybe the Padme book or maybe something like that, but maybe not. I know there was people just a lot of talk about the new books coming out. I hope
new cover
was it maybe it wasn't a new cover for it, but I just, for like a day or so, I think some of the Star Wars social media was talking about the Padme book for some reason. I actually, unfortunately, wasn't.
I think
on it.
I think the half
is
the official cover.
The official one,
yeah. Man, where's my pre-orders at? Because I had my pre-orders. Here we go. So I know it's March. It is actually getting released March. I'm sorry. It's not Master Apprentice. Queen Shadow. Okay. It's getting released this Tuesday.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. Release day, March 5th. E.K. Johnson's Queen's Shadow will be out.
Queen Shadows.
So I've already pre-ordered all of these books this year. So we've got Queen Shadow coming out March 5th. We've got Master and Apprentice coming out April 16th, which is Celebration. So that book will be coming out at Celebration. Then you've got July 23rd, Thrawn Treason. And then you've got before that, June 11th, you have Alphabet Squadron before Thrawn. And I wonder if it tells me who. Yeah, so Queen Shadow is narrated by Catherine Tabor.
Cool.
Who voiced Padme.
That's right. Yes. That's
in the Clone Wars. I know. Pretty neat. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us. We will let you know our time slot as soon as we're allowed to let you know.
Yes.
We're very, very excited. Hope everybody can make it there. Again, we will have some great little things to give away if you can come check us out. That could be the downside of having, a big panel reveal around our time slot, because maybe you won't make it to our show, but that's fine. We'll be there.
Understood.
We'll be there. Yeah, we'll be there giving away the stuff some stuff to people that can't make it. But all right, we appreciate it, everybody. He's Kryptonian1138 on Twitter. I'm DCuttingham21 on Twitter. We're InsideTheForce.com. Check us out. We're on YouTube now. This show is actually on YouTube for watching us.
Hey.
Or if you're listening, we're on all the networks out there. We're actually just recently got onto Spotify.
Awesome.
I didn't know that. Tell you that? Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't even tell you that.
Cool.
Recently got they had just sidebar again. They had a horrible submission because there's ways you can pay for your hosting. We don't pay for our hosting. We pay for hosting, but we don't host our show on any of those normal podcast sites, like Libsyn or Podbean or something like that. But you can submit your feeds to those places, right? But Spotify had a really bad submission process for a while. Like, it took weeks, they said. Finally, they created a portal, like a podcast portal, where you can submit.
Maybe they're trying to boost it then.
I guess.
They're
trying to get their pay service going still, because it is a paid music service.
Yeah. But
the podcasts are free. So if you listen to Spotify, you can search us on there and listen to us.
Cool.
So yeah, because that's a big deal. Because a lot of people, some people, it's a pretty big amount of people out that have iPhones.
Yeah.
And then have Androids, and on the Android side, a lot of them use Spotify. So we're on Spotify.
Yes, we're everywhere. Everywhere.
You're a Spotify.
I'm Spotify.
Yeah, you use Spotify. I don't use Spotify.
I'm using a lot of Amazon Music now.
Yeah, I do Amazon. That. I do Amazon. Yeah, I got the Amazon Prime, which you can do. You can ask Alexa to listen to Inside the Force, and it'll play. Yes. Have you done that yet? You haven't done that yet?
No. Well, I have Google Home.
Oh, you don't have Alexa?
But I probably could. Google Home. We're on Google Play.
You were on Google Play.
So maybe I could do it through
You
that.
could.
Yeah.
You should be able to. Yeah. Yeah, but it's cool because I was like, we just got our Alexa a few months ago.
Yeah.
And I saw, because what it does is it reads it from TuneIn Radio.
Okay. Wow.
That's where it reads its podcasts from. Okay. Which is weird because it just listed all these things. Because it does grab playlists from Spotify or iHeartRadio.
Sure. Yeah, you connect all your stuff.
But podcasts it does from TuneIn.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, we're on TuneIn. So I said, Alexa, play podcast Inside the Force. I said, playing latest episode of Inside. I'm like,
what?
Sweet. And the kids were like, is that Daddy? So anyway, little bonus piece there as usual. Thanks for listening, everybody. Hope everybody has a great weekend. We'll see y'all next week. For Casey Cooley.
I lost my way for a long time, but now I have a chance to change things. Kanan Jarrus, Star Wars Jedi.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to do more television.
Yes.
Quotes.
Good point.
I'm just not well versed in those quotes. I've only seen them a few, one, two.
I know.
A few times.
I told myself this summer when kind of TV shows go away. Like I really want to go back and watch Rebels again.
Yeah.
Like it's only 4 seasons. I just want to knock it out again because I've really only watched all of them like one time or maybe a second time right after, but I haven't gone back. I've been catching been doing Clone Wars here and there, trying to get ready. But yeah, this stuff's good stuff. Thanks everybody. Hope everybody has a great week. Take care. For Casey,
goodbye, everybody.
I'm Dave. May the Force be with you.